Hello! In this video, we will discuss how AI tools can be used to help us conduct microeconomic analyses. To recap from the microeconomic analyses video, there are several methods economists use to analyze data and estimate causal effects. We are going to be concerned mainly with two of them: difference in differences designs, where we compare treatment and control groups before and after treatment, and regression discontinuity designs, where there's a cutoff for treatment and we can compare units immediately above and immediately below that cutoff. For both of these designs, AI tools can help you with data import, management, and estimation. Large language models, what we usually think of as AI, were trained on a large corpus or body of training material. This corpus included text on statistical programming languages, mainly Python and R, but also Stata and SPSS, which means that these LLMs, or large language models, can be used to help you write code in these languages. However, LLMs weren't built to be coders, so you will need to do some work to get the LLMs to give you the output that you want. Essentially, the problem is that the LLM may get confused over time and across languages, so it can take some time to get working code from an LLM. This is especially true for less common languages such as Stata and SPSS. I think of using AI in 4 steps. First, you need to tell the AI about your data. What variables are included? What do they mean? Sometimes this can be easier to do than other times. I have found that data distributors usually provide some information that assigns human-readable variable labels to those variables, and I'll copy that code and put it into the input box of the AI, and then I can ask the AI to help me pick some variables of interest. Second, ask the AI for code to read in the data, select the variables of interest, and clean those variables. In this step, it's sometimes useful to provide the full codebook entries for the variables of interest so that the AI can look at it and figure out what to do with that. Third, ask the AI to help you with your analytic code. Have it write the code that you don't want to deal with writing. Finally, you need to run the code, and in this process, you'll encounter errors that either prevent the code from running or lead it to do the wrong thing. And you can also ask the AI at this point to help you resolve these errors. As a working example for today, I'm going to use some mortality data that I downloaded from CDC Wonder. In these data, I have 3 columns: age, deaths, and population, and you can see an example of the data there in the picture on the right. I then asked the AI to help me. I gave it a specific prompt that described my data and what I wanted it to do. I gave it the file name and the column names, and because I'm an opinionated R user, I asked it to use specific libraries. You can see the specific prompt here. I would like you to help me conduct a statistical analysis. I will provide you with the name of a spreadsheet and the column names. You will give me R code to read in the data. The file is called mortalitybyage.csv, and the columns are age, deaths, and population. Please use the tidyverse library. It then gave me a response, which I've edited here for clarity and length, and the full chat is available at the URL below. But it indicated that it could certainly help me with this process, and included the helpful advice for what to do if I don't already have the tidyverse library installed in my R environment. I then asked it to write the regression discontinuity code, and here I specified that I was concerned that mortality increases exponentially, and that I would like the dependent variable to the natural log of deaths per 100,000 people. Again, it gave me a very reasonable response that I've also edited, but again, the full chat is available at the URL below. The previous example is very simple. We can also consider a more challenging and realistic example next. Let's check in on how Medicare coverage affects drinking. We can start by asking ChatGPT for a data source. And the long list of data sources it suggested included the Behavioral Risk Factor Surveillance Survey, or the BRFSS, which is what we will use for this example. Now that we have data, let's have the AI help us with it. We need to tell the AI which variables are in the data and what those variables are. The import code for your data is often a good place to start for telling ChatGPT what's available. But I can still make things up. The first time I ran this code, it made up a variable. It sounded great, but it was not very helpful. And eventually, ChatGPT forgot things. In the free version that I use, it has a relatively short memory, so sometimes you want to restart the chat entirely. The basic prompt I used was, I need your help choosing variables for an analysis of Medicare coverage, which starts at age 65, and alcohol consumption. I need to include people both under and over 65 years of age, and construct an indicator that someone is 65 years of age or older. I will provide a list of variables and associated labels, and then ChatGPT identified 2 key variables for me. Now that we have chosen our data set and identified the variables, let's have ChatGPT write some code for us. Here I gave it an explicit prompt about what software to use, the name of the input file, and what I wanted it to call the data. I did have to ask some follow-up questions before it gave me something reasonable. The good thing is you can have ChatGPT open while testing its output. The result is working R code that'll make the data set you want. Next, I can use codebook snippets to help it write the code I need to clean variables. And finally, ask ChatGPT to tell its future self what it did. Next, we need the AI to assist us with writing code for the analysis. In this case, I provided a very basic prompt. I would like you to write R code to conduct a regressionist continuity analysis of the relationship between turning 65 years of age and alcohol consumption, which yielded the necessary feedback after some discussion with the LLM. So it took a little bit of time and a little bit of clarification for me to get output that worked from ChatGPT. The final step, which you may want to run concurrently with the previous steps, is to run the code, identify errors, and fix them. And you can always ask me for help as you work through this process. I hope you enjoy using AI to assist you in your empirical work, and good luck.